sooner or later, we are going to suffer a serious level of burnout, right? And it's going to come fast. So your risk of not acting now as an organization to try and put more balance in the way we're working and reinvest your energy, efforts, and finance into health of your people, you've got to do it now. Hey everyone, this is Nick Holmes. I am the VP of Employee Experience at Avalere Health. And one of the things that we're looking at doing is changing the way we work. The way we work is fundamentally changed than it was 4 years ago. We are always on. Even when we're off, we're on. We are back to back to back. What's happening is the stress on our brain is getting worse and worse and worse. We're on the cusp of another pandemic when it comes to burnout. But if we don't start addressing the way we're working, then we're going to become physically unwell. Our mental health is going to deteriorate. So one of the ways we're looking to change this is by introducing something to our organization called Rebalance, because that's Project Rebalance. The first phase is to reinvent and rejig the way we're meeting internally. One of the things we're trying to do with Rebalance, and one of the ways you cure burnout and stress, is by what we call micro, meso, macro breaks, right? So the more macro breaks you can put in your life, so that's taking meaningful time off every month, though everyone should be taking a full day off a month. Whether that's meso breaks, so smaller throughout the week, you need to be having at least 1-2 hours fully break throughout your working day every week. And the micro breaks is where Rebalance comes in for us. So that's sort of phase one, is to reinvent how we meet internally. Phase two is giving people permission to spend time on something other than their actual task and in tray. So we have about 80 hours for managers to use a year just on their personal professional development, and just over 60 hours or so for everyone else. And that's the baseline, that's the minimum that we expect people to be spending on their own personal time and growth. Now, phase three, we're about to start in the next couple of weeks, and that's all about trial and error, experimentation, failing forward fast. We're going to be looking at, is there a different way or a healthier way to actually work, right? So say we're meeting better, that's good, that gives us more time back in our day and our work and our lives. I know where I can spend my time on myself and my growth, but actually, is there a different way of working altogether? How do we measure success of Rebalance? Or a couple of things. So we want to see sickness and absence reduced. We think that's a real tangible tactical target of Rebalance. And then the other thing is the wellbeing index, which we've now called it. So I experience stress and burnout. We're measuring that impact, and we're going to be measuring that every 6 months and keeping a tab on that to see where that is landing. And we should see that favorability really start to increase as we give people more time back. So Rebalance, whilst it has three distinct phases, is actually an excuse, a phrase to use to say, actually, let's rebalance this, let's go and change it. One of the ways that we're tapping into Fuel 50 is actually through our idea of making Rebalance, making health more of a skill-based task as well. So, for example, we have a number of organizational behaviors which are competencies. So one of those competencies is purposefulness, and that's a very important competency that's attached to every job that exists in our business. So in order for you to progress, and one of the things we're looking at reinventing and Fuel 50 helping us do this, is being able to be a mental health first aider, being a coach for wellness, understanding the true aspects of how to rebalance is actually a skill. So as we start to build our skill ontology or evolve that even further, rebalancing is going to become a skill. Getting visibility of that skill, it sort of leaves no excuses. It's that awareness and that visibility that not only do you need to start to sort of craft that and get into a mastery stage to move through your career if you want to go into leadership roles, but also it tells the business that we care about this thing, right? And it tells the people that we're looking at this intently. And this is something we care about. And this is something we're going to do. And actually, fundamentally, it's something we have to do if we're going to live up to what we're saying around changing the workplace.